Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to turn it right over to Mila to get started.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to start. Let me share my screen here for a second. Here we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to start by showing you where we have the county dues form live, and I posted it onto the county share site, which you can see here. It's right on the homepage. We will send out an email after probably this afternoon. I have a supporting document that I can share with you guys, just kind of goes over step by step, like with some screenshots. So you can remember how to do it. I mean, it's largely the same as last year. So it's probably not too different, but I just want to double check before I send that out. But this is where you'll update your 2024 county dues and special status. So that's on the website, and like you said, that's ready to go. Lauren did go over that last meeting. You can find those recordings on our share site if you wanted to see that again. I can also, when we send out the email, also point you to where you can find those as well. And then I just wanted to show you on the county documents tab from the homepage is where you can find our most recent membership drop list. So it's the 2023 PA Med termination report. And that is accessible on the county documents tab. That's our list that we updated probably last week. So you can start going through that based on your county. We are going to be posting the practice admin drop list as well. And I will let you know when that's updated. We're having it organized so that you can easily see by county. So you can see the ones that affect you, of course, and they'll have different tabs for the different categories of practice admins, the ones that have been dropped, the ones that have been rolled over, and the ones that have been paid as well. So those are things that are new on the county share site that are important, that I'm sure you guys like to see. So I just wanted to point those out to you this morning. So like I said, once this afternoon or tomorrow morning, we'll send out an email with a little more details, but just wanted to point you to those information right now. So I'll turn it over to Sam. She's here with us and she wanted to chat with you guys about Doctor's Day.
Thanks, Mila. So Doctor's Day nominations closed on Sunday. We received 361 nominations, which is I think like 115 more than last year. So that was pretty exciting to see the final number. Because of the nature of the way that we accept nominations, it takes a little bit longer to sort through the data because the public nominates them. So sometimes they're not physicians, or they have the name spelled wrong and they don't list the county. So we have membership kind of sorting through, removing duplicates. I would anticipate, I did see some duplicates, like people getting nominated 5 or 6 times. So probably about 200 to 250 physicians will recognize this year, compared to last year we had 198. I'm waiting. I was going to wait to do the county marketing email for this month until we had that list so that I could include that information for you. But if we don't have it finalized by tomorrow, I'll send out the marketing email and then I'll send a separate email with the list. On the day of, so March 30th, we are hoping to do something similar to what we did last year, where we're able to go out and physically present some of the honorees with some of the donated gifts that we've received. As of today, we had 34 sponsors donate gifts from all different parts of the state. We're going to be sending out PA Med staff and hopefully recruiting some leadership like Dr. Jackson to do the presentations. But I wanted to see if anybody on this call was planning to do anything, or if they wanted to collaborate with us. I know I've talked to Melanie with Allegheny County. I only see Sarah on the call, but so I'll reconnect with her, or Sarah could give me an update. But I'm happy to collaborate. We can we can certainly get you one of the donated gifts if you wanted to do a presentation to a nominated physician in your county. Just wanted to open that up for discussion.
Hey Samantha, it's Sarah. I'll talk to Mel about it and we'll get back to you. She's not on the call today, so I need to check with her first.
Okay.
Sam, obviously anything in Berks County, I'm in for collaborating. So put me on whatever list.
Okay, so once we get the final list, we'll have the county listed. I'm gonna have Katie and Janet kind of review it and make sure that they, last year, they know these physicians by name a lot better than I do. I can recognize some of them, but I'll send it out too. So if you have somebody that you feel like from that is in Berks County that was nominated that you want to do, everybody on the list is going to be getting a certificate and like something in the mail from us. And we'll also be doing a recruitment to the non-members that were nominated. So, but we want to really try to recognize the existing members. So if you see anyone on that list that you're like, oh, that physician is really well known in our community, we want it, then please let me know, because you know better than I do.
Samantha, thanks too. I'm like TJ. I think everybody else here, we're more than welcome the opportunity to help out. So just let us know, and then and keep us in the tune. So all good. Thank you.
Great. I will, as soon as we get the list done, we'll get it out and kind of create some next steps. But I think it was really well received last year. So I'm excited that we've even taken it a step further with more nominations and more sponsors this year. So hoping to kind of keep the momentum going. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Heather, we can turn it over to you for the regionalization grant if you're ready.
Okay, so we have, again, money to release to counties who are choosing to have a conversation about possibly regionalizing. We are very aware that sometimes counties struggle to survive on their own with the resources that they have, and they are talking to each other in a good faith effort to help support that discussion. PA Med started releasing county regionalization grants after the passing of Resolution 18512. And so we make available a grant application each year for counties to fill out. So there's sort of two stages to getting the grant. You can either do the dating stage, which is sort of like, well, do we like working with this county? Do we think we have some shared common interests? Would we like to continue to have some joint activities? And then there's sort of, after the dating period, there's the seal the deal grant, which is sort of like we get an attorney, we figure out how we're going to merge, we figure out where the office is going to be, and you go through the process of actually formally regionalizing and becoming a 2-county entity or 3-county entity. Currently, right now, if you ask, well, who in the county societies is looking at possibly doing this and has received a grant, Tanya is a wonderful resource. She's up in Lackawanna, and she has received a grant. And I think this year they will probably have a regional medical society that is a merging of 2 counties coming together formally. And then they would have that one board and be that one county entity. This part, it really helps you explore and provides resources for whether you're going to bring an attorney in to talk to your boards or whether you're going to have some joint activities together. So it's really easy. You would go to your pamedsoc.org/regionalization. It will bring you to this page, and you will have to log in to submit your application. So there's a very helpful guide. And just to remind you of some of the deadlines, the grant was released. And so when you go there on, as of yesterday, so when you go to your website, you can go to pamedsoc.org/regionalization. You can download the application guide. The grant applications are due at 5 o'clock on June 5th, 2023. And from there, we will make announcements in August. It's really not that difficult. You're following a basic logic model. So if you've worked with United Way or any other basic grant funders, they use a logic model that says basically, you know, who's your partner? Who are you going to do joint activities with? What's your budget, and what are you going to put into it? What activities are you going to do? And then what are your outcomes? What do you think will happen? And then you report back, well, that worked or it didn't work. There was a county once who got a regionalization grant that did do that sort of what we call the dating part of it. And they decided that at this point they haven't merged because they wanted to be one entity, but they wanted to charge different dues per county. And if you become one entity, you can't say, well, this county is going to pay $50 and then this county is going to pay $150. If you're one entity, you are billing one county dues or one component dues at that point in time. And so that's been a stumbling block for that group. But they did receive that $10,000 sort of in that first phase. The requirements really are that you would want to submit your letter of cooperation. So both boards would be submitting a letter saying, hey, we're going to work together. These are the things that we're going to achieve. And really, other than that, it's fairly painless and fairly easy. I'll take you to the actual application here. Let's see, so submit your application. So you're going to come through here and it'll say begin a new submission. So let's see if it's going to come in for me. Here it is. And then you just keep going through and click and save and next. So save and next is basically saying welcome to the 2023 regionalization. Save and next. Name of submitter, district number, district representative. We do let your district representative know that. And then you just keep going through the whole way with what you want to have happen. So if we just put me in, we're just gonna, let's just say, I'm just gonna make one up. Okay, save it next. And then the executive director, your address, your county, and it really, really is fairly simple. So if we fill out all those screens, you just keep going through. If you have any problems, if you get stuck, if you can't get through the logic model saying, well, okay, these are the resources we have, these are the people we're going to work with, this is the activity that we think we're going to do, and I'm not sure exactly what I think is going to happen. Can you help me figure out how to write that? You're more than welcome to call me at any time, and I will be glad to help you through that process. You will need a very basic budget that will go with your grant of how you plan to spend the money. Some groups have spent money on joint activities together, from the refreshments to the place that they're meeting. Some have spent it on attorney fees to make sure that they're reviewing their bylaws. At the end of the day, and I'm going to stop sharing unless there are any questions about this part of it. Any questions? Myla, are there any in the chat? Okay. Hearing no questions. The one thing I will say is if you are forming a new entity, it's no different than you are now as a county where you are asked to follow the model bylaws. You say, well, Heather, where do I find the model bylaws? The model bylaws are found on the county share site under county documents. The model bylaws help us all to stay consistent with our member categories. And some of the other things that we do that are really important, that we are consistent in our bylaws so that we are aligned in our unified model. So if you need any help with that, please let me know. I will give the example again of Tanya, who has done a wonderful job with her group. They have some bylaws. We have taken a look at them where they didn't align with the model county bylaws. We've had great discussion. And we do expect that her proposal to possibly become a unified group will come forward to the PA Med board probably in May. So again, she's a wonderful resource for you at the county society level. If you'd like to talk to her about her experience, if you'd like help with the grant, you'd like assistance and you're not quite sure what you want to say or what you want to write, please let me know. And you can apply for up to $10,000. So it's $10,000. Can you regionalize across districts? You can. You would still have both district trustees. So in District 1 and in District 2, they would still remain the district trustees. And currently right now, under the House of Delegates, the number of delegates that would be assigned would still be the number of delegates of physicians in the county. So nothing would really change there. Mark, you were part of that work group when we did the work to help folks to regionalize. So that occurred and was approved by the House about 3 years ago now, where it did discuss how two groups can come together, even if it's across district lines. Two groups can form a new entity. And the new entity, you say, well, where would the corporate office be? The corporate office would be in that county that's going to have the new entity. So if Delaware and Chester were merging, for example, but you were going to keep the corporate office in Delaware, you might be the Del Chester County's Medical Society, but where you're registered would be, if you're in Delaware County, that would be where you're registered. You can cross district lines at this point, yes. Any other questions? It looks like there might be one other chat. Am I missing? Nope. So it's $10,000. It has fairly few restrictions to it because it really is, you can apply for 10 to sort of have that session. Do we like each other? Do we want to work together? And then you can have that $10,000 to have help with attorney's fees. If I was a group that was looking to regionalize, I would have the first group apply and say, hey, I want to work with this other group, and do that sort of what we call, fondly the dating session. Do we like each other? Do we have synergy? That other county that has come in as your partner, if they would like to regionalize, they could apply for the other 10,000 and get the attorney to help finish the deal. So really there's 20,000 worth of help in about a 2-year period for you to be able to do that. So I encourage you to fill out an application. We offer them every year, and we'll see where we go this year. So thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
One last share. Dave is caught up at the Capitol, and I am for sure no stand-in from Dave, but I do want to share a couple things we're working on and give you guys a heads up. Some of you may recall we had a legislative portal that we were hoping could engage some of our most active advocates and sort of take them to the next level. We found that was not working, and I'm sure most of you saw our legislative survey that was in the board documents. We went out to our members about our legislative priorities, but we also said, hey, how do you want to do this? What we expected was true. Essentially, it's I pay my money to you. I want you to do that. I don't really want to have a whole lot to do with that. If something's really moving or you really need me, yes, I would probably take action. I'm going to need a week to do that. So those that have been in this a while, I mean, that is a really a sizable shift from what we've done historically. Historically, we had advocates that would go to the Capitol, would make calls, and really it's different times. They don't want to do that now. It's no surprise, I'm sure, to most of you. I mean, certainly we have some of our advocates like the Dr. Heines of the world that we can rely on to do those sorts of things, but she's the exception, not the rule. So we are shifting our communications plan to meet the needs that we're hearing from our members. So we're going to move away from the portal and start to roll out some different changes. The one you're going to see right away is that every third, right, Mila, third week, every third Thursday, Mila's dose will be focused on advocacy. So the highest engagement we get across all channels is advocacy. Lots of engagement in the dose on advocacy topics. So we're going to focus the third edition every month on advocacy. That's not to say if something's important, something's moving, that it's not going to be in dose 1, dose 2, dose 4. It just means that things that can wait and be discussed, maybe it's a topic, maybe it's a campaign, we're going to focus that on the third Thursday of each month. And we're going to also start to make some other changes. Probably the other biggest one will be on our website. We will have some resources in the On the Hill drop down on our website that will be open to all, so that we can try to engage member and non-member advocates depending on the topic. And also the legislative team likes that from the perspective of having so many new folks in the legislature. They can point them there to get those high level, what does PA Med stand for? What are their issues? They can find sort of that brief one, those brief one pagers to print out and access. And we will be creating some materials for the legislative team as well to use to point those legislators to those key initiatives for them to learn a little bit more. So I just want to give everybody a heads up that we are moving away from the portal. We will start engaging folks in different ways. And the last piece that I forgot to mention is the people that said, yeah, you know, I probably would send a call to action if you gave me like a week to do it. You know, I would be interested in that. We're going to take those names and really focus on those people and get them to sign up for legislative alerts. Our alerts, generally speaking, have done really, really well. We currently have 2 kinds of alerts, the HOD alert and the public health alert. We find that if we're really careful and we only send out alerts when there's something, you know, specifically happening, folks engage in those and they don't unsubscribe. So we're hoping that we can do that with the legislative alert as well, and use it only when we need folks to really do something, to take some action or to pay attention to something. So as that comes together, we'll share more. We're at the beginning stages of making that transition, but I want to make sure you all knew that the portal would be closing down here shortly, and we'd be more pushing than thinking, you know, hoping that folks would come to us. Is there any questions about that? Okay, well, that's all we have for you guys today. So if there's nothing more from the group, we thank you and have a good morning.